I was wondering how you got your start in the industry or what made you want to pursue it.
Well, I really got my start by through theater, but I was the mini mascot in France for the French All-Star game, and I was like, "Ooh, this is really fun. Can I do more of this?" And I after that, I kind of put my entertainment life on hold, except for the fact that I did competitive cheer for a few years,
Mhm.
and I did one theater class, theater camp at the end of my cheerleading, and I was like, I want to do this more. And so I did it more, and I quit cheerleading, and I went on to go to Northwest School of the Arts. And around halfway through Northwest School of the Arts for musical theater, halfway through sixth grade, I decided like, hey mom, I want to be a film actor. I want to be a movie star. And my mom was like, okay, let's do it. And during seventh grade, I went away from Northwest School of the Arts, became homeschooled to fully pursue
Mhm.
film acting. And yeah, honestly, it's been a wild ride, but it really just been fun.
Definitely. So you're known for your role in the Hallmark movie A Christmas Love Story. Can you tell me about the audition process for that project?
So the audition process for that was a little bit interesting because it was I was actually still at Northwest at the time,
Mhm.
and they worked with Northwest. Hallmark was like, "Hey, we want some choir kids that can sing and can act and can dance," and we were like, "Oh," they were like, "Okay." My musical theater class, they set up an audition, like a open call, and all of us came and auditioned together, and it was actually with my friends, so that was super fun. And so we all came and auditioned together, and I auditioned for a choir kid as well as Mariah. And so when we auditioned, they were like, "Hey, I want you to come in for a callback." And I said, "Absolutely, that sounds amazing." That was on it was earlier in the week, and then on the Thursday they canceled the callback, and we were all weekend we were just sitting, we were waiting, we were like,
Mhm.
what are we gonna do, what are we gonna do? And they like kept like updating us like, okay, so we're talking right now, we're working on it, but we haven't gotten anything back yet. On a Monday, my agent called my mom, was like, hey, check your email. And then I was like, I heard that, and I said, Mom, what does she mean by check your email? And my mom was like, I have no idea. And we checked the email, and I freaked out. Obviously, we freaked out. She called me. She was like, "Hi, Lacey. They would like to offer you the role of Mariah." And I freaked out. All of us freaked out. We were all jumping around in my living room. I remember this. It was We were jumping around in the living room. We were screaming. We were yelling. We were like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing!" And then I just kind of like fell down on the ground and started crying tears of joy because that was my first big role I ever had, and it was super amazing for me. And I was just, oh my gosh, it was amazing.
Sounded like it, like the wait was like worth it in the end for you. So how would
Mhm.
you describe your character, Mariah?
So how I would describe her, she's spunky, she's fun, she's confident. The character description reads precocious, and I had a lot of room to play with the character because they were like, so here's what she is, and the director was telling me like, do what you think she would do because she is now you. And I said, okay. And she does not like, they didn't want to come off of obnoxious though. She didn't want her to be like, oh, I'm better than you. No, she wanted her to be straight to the point. And she actually gives Kristen Chenoweth the idea to write her own song, which is like the premise of the movie. So I think that was a big part for me and my family. We were like, oh my gosh, she's like kind of important. She's important. Oh my god. And yeah, that was something that was super exciting because I got time to play with that character. They gave us like my part, and then I just sat in this office actually because this is my dad's office. I sat in here and I looked at the script and I said, I would do that. Wait, let me write this down. And I wrote down things that she would say, things that she would do, things that she would like on camera, like how would she stand? Would she have any fidgets? Would she do this? And it's just something that I've thought about a lot recently. Like, what could I have done that would have like made that character more like deep, I
Mhm.
guess.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Definitely. So it seems like you put a lot of time and effort into your character study process for Mariah. What was it? You mentioned that you worked with Kristen Chenoweth. What was it like getting to work with her and the rest of the Hallmark family?
It was really special. Hallmark is Christmas, obviously, and just being a part of that movie was super life changing for me. I want to be somebody that, like, oh yeah, that's Lacey Caroline. She's in this movie. Oh yeah, I saw that movie. That's amazing, you know?
Mhm.
And after like my first day, I was like, Mom, can I do this more often? I feel at home. I feel so happy. She was like, Yes, sweetie. Yeah. And Kristen was just a little ray of sunshine. She was so sweet. And we had multiple scenes where it was all the choir kids and she was directing us as the choir kids.
Mhm.
And what she would do is she'd come on set like 5 minutes before she had to start the scene and she would talk to us. She'd get to know us personally. She'd be like, "Hey, y'all, how's everybody doing?" And we were like, "Hi, Miss Kristen," because all of us are huge theater kids. So we were freaking out because we were like, that's her. That's, oh my, this wicked girl. Oh my. And we were freaking out. And it was just really sweet. And everyone involved with the project, from the director, Eric Close, to producers, to composer, to hair and makeup team, everyone was so nice and inspiring and complimentary. And here I am, at the time I was 12 years old, from a 12-year-old girl from North Carolina, getting to act with superstars, which was, oh my gosh, and I was treated so equally, which I wasn't expecting. Well, I was expecting, but I never really, I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. And everybody was so just kind, and Eric Close was amazing, and Kristen Chenoweth was amazing, and everybody was super awesome. And we're still friends with the makeup, one of our makeup people that were on that project. We're still friends with her to this day, which is really fun. It was actually named Hallmark Hall of Fame movie before it was even.
Cool.
And I was so happy to know that Hallmark recognized how special it was, especially for just all the people that were involved, to be honest, because all of my friends were like, "I've never been in a movie before. You know what you're doing, right?" And I was like, "I mean, kind of. I've been in short films." And they're like, "Okay, tell me what to do." And I said, "Ah, okay." But it was special for pretty much everybody there. And we were all, it was such a heartfelt project for even people that had just gotten started with it, such as the extras, such as a lot of my friends. We were all just so happy to be a part of it.
Mhm.
But yeah.
For sure. It seemed like a project that definitely like built your portfolio a lot. What do you say like you learned most from working on the project?
I learned that no matter what role you're in, you're always kind to everyone. I learned that from Scott Wolf, because what he did a few days on, especially the biggest days, he got food from the food truck with everybody else and sat and had lunch with us, which was amazing. I was not expecting that, but I was having lunch with my friends, and he came over and sat with all of us, and we just started like hanging out, and I was like, "That's Scott Wolf. Oh my gosh, he's just sitting with us. He's just hanging out." And it was amazing. And from the moment I stepped on set, the entire cast and crew were so nice. The first time I walked into the hair and makeup trailer, actually, I sat down right next to Miss Kristen, and because she was getting her hair done at the moment, and I sat down and I looked over and she said hi, and I said hi, and I was like so quiet and scared, but I just ended up getting like, she just was so sweet and such a ray of sunshine. I've said this before, but she lit up the entire trailer. Everybody would listen to her. Everybody would just was so infatuated with her because she's Kristen Chenoweth, and she just, no matter how nervous I was, she was super sweet. I also learned that an actor's job is never finished. While we were on set filming one day, Scott actually had an audition for a huge project. I didn't know what it is at the time. I can't remember what it is now. But Kevin Quinn filmed him down in our school area. So there was like the whole place where everybody was filming, and then down where two of us were doing school. And Scott and Kevin were right over there just filming an audition. And we were just watching him the entire time. And that really helped me realize that no matter how big you get or how long you're in the industry, the most important part of the process is the audition.
For sure. And you seem like you definitely learned a lot from this project. And I know you do some reporting work as well for like NASCAR. How did you get started with doing that?
Got to host on the Charlotte Hornets Kids Day basketball game in March of 2019. And I was like, this is really fun. I'm really comfortable, like, talking to an entire stadium, like, let's do this, let's do that. Yeah, let's cheer now. Like, it was something that I really personally loved. So when the NASCAR NBC audition came through, my agent was like, "You got to go audition for this." And I was like, "Okay, perfect." I went through the audition process and had a callback with the director, Tony Pintaro. He actually flew down from New York for the callbacks because he wanted to be in the room for the final decision, right? And I was his choice. We filmed for 2 days in May, and the segment started to air in late June 2019. They were very well received, and I had other opportunities with NASCAR, such as going to one of the races, and I actually worked with the women in NASCAR, and that was really fun for me. And yeah, and I got to see all the uh, drivers and everything. It was so fun.
That sounds like a really great experience for you being a reporter. What's your favorite part about it?
I gotta say, meeting with the drivers and talking to people, really, especially in Supercross, I got to like hang out with the riders and watch. I got to watch the race, which was fun. But meeting all the drivers again, I got to see Jimmy Johnson once again because my mom actually worked with Jimmy Johnson in the past.
Wow.
So she, well, she knew him. And funny story about that. Like the day that he came in, I think it was the second day. It was the second day, and he came in. He only had like a 20-minute time frame, so we're like, we have to get this quick. He doesn't have time at all. Like he's going around doing all these other things. We don't have time, right?
Mm-hmm.
He came straight to my mom when he saw her, struck up a conversation, and I was supposed to be a secret, so I was like trying to hide, and I was like, it didn't really work because he saw me, but he just came straight back and just started talking to my mom, like, how are you? Like, it's been so long, and then we did the whole segment. Afterwards, he kind of laughed. He was like, oh my gosh, she's gotten so old. She's gotten so much bigger because he knew me as a tiny baby because my mom worked with him when I was like 2 or 3 years old. So he knew me as this tiny little child. And of course I've gotten older now, but he knew me as super young. And it was kind of just this instant connection that we had because we knew like it was super flowy and super easy. And I had just gotten a pair of Crocs. My mom hated those things. And my mom said that if Jimmy Johnson would sign my book and I did good job with Jimmy Johnson's interview, that I could keep my Crocs. And I said, Mr. Jimmy Johnson, will you sign my book? And he said, of course. And then we ended up keeping that because that was throughout the rest of the day. They were like, okay, we want you to keep doing this. We want you to have them sign your book. And I was like, okay. But yeah, that was just a funny story. And after recording those pieces, I got to go to a few races, like I said, and so many drivers recognized me, which I was not expecting. And they were talking to me and about the pieces and how much they liked them. Clint Boyer and Chloe LaJoy, they actually we were standing at the meet and greet area and they didn't really have much time. And they were like, they came over and actually talked to me. And they were like, I was like, Clint, Corey. And they were like, oh my gosh, hi, how are you doing? And I'm like, I'm doing good. And they're like, the pieces are amazing. Thank you. But it was just fun to talk to them again.
For sure, it seems like you're really well liked among that community of like doing your reporting in NASCAR. It seems like really great experience for you. What advice do you have for any young actors or
I get this question especially from my friends. I honestly say you got to get on those casting sites like backstage.com and all those because I wouldn't be where I am without my mom submitting me on those casting sites because some big stuff comes through there as well as just like easy like stuff to get your resume built. Speaking of resume built, get experience because getting experience will also get you a better chance on getting a good team and getting an agent or a manager because you have to have that, otherwise you won't really get anywhere because you won't have as much credibility. So throughout getting experience, they'd be like, okay, so who's your agent and manager? This was at the beginning. And I was like, oh, I don't have one currently. And it's one of those things where it's like, oh, you can have it, but you don't have to, but it's better to have one because it'll get you, like I said, more credibility. Also be patient and respectful. Patient and respectful. One of my favorite things that I like to say to people that are like, oh, I've auditioned so many times, I haven't gotten anything yet. Like, why aren't I getting anything? I like to say that you will have 100 auditions and maybe only get one.
Mm-hmm.
And that one you have to be appreciative of because if you only get one, that's fine because you got one. I like to think of glass half full better than glass half empty. And being respectful. If when you get that audition and you get that you get that job, right? You go to the set, be early, be prepared, always just constantly be respectful. Your last day on set, like thank every single person on set. If you can't get to them personally, thank them in widespread. Maybe send them thank you notes. We did thank you notes. And obviously that's worked so far by sending thank you notes. And it's a package deal. It's a package deal with whoever you're working with, whoever's your guardian. They have to be respectful as well. So
that's amazing. You seem to like know a lot about the industry. And lastly, where can fans follow you on social media to stay connected with you and your upcoming projects?
They can follow me on social media on Instagram at I am Lacey Caroline, all lowercase. Facebook, Lacey Caroline, lowercase. Twitter, Lacey Caroline, lowercase. And my website is laceycaroline.com.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today.